In this video, we're going to be talking about how to do the SQL injection in the Damn Vulnerable Web app. I've put together a VM here. If you haven't looked at my other videos, I'll put a link to it in the comments so you can download it and follow along. It really just has all the Apache server information, DVWA install. It's got some other tools to actually attack the site. You don't have to set it up yourself. I've already done the database things and whatever you need for it. So let's go ahead and get to it. Start Firefox here on the left. Bring it up. I have a bookmark right here. Just go ahead and click on that. Log in with the username of admin and a password of password. Go in and to Damn Vulnerable Web App Security. Select Low and click Submit. Should see an item down here saying it's been done. And now you're ready to go to SQL injection and actually start testing the site for vulnerabilities. So the way this site works is you put in a number and you get back a user. So 1, 2, 3, etc. So to test to see whether it's vulnerable or not, we can put in a 1 and do tac. And basically that's just a ability to comment lines out in SQL queries. So we'll do submit. And sure enough, it doesn't error out, gives us admin. So that looks promising. So the next thing I want to try is seeing if we can get all the users in one query. So to do that, I'll do user, and I'll do attack, single quote, and I'll do or 1 equals 1. And then do tac again. And what's basically happening here is saying ID is user, or 1 equals 1. And so because it always equals 1, it'll query through each line, and it'll always work because 1 is always 1. So we'll just do submit. And what's interesting here is it errored out. So it did not like the tac that I had. So another thing that we can try, and you can double click and just reselect your last items. So we can do user, select that, and then I can try pound, which is another way to comment things out. And now, sure enough, we're able to get all the items. So maybe doing some error checking in some portions. So you might want to vary it from query to query. So the next thing we want to do is we want to actually enumerate the database, the tables, and see if we can get some data out of them that would be useful. Maybe some usernames and passwords or content like username, address, and stuff. So go ahead and bring up the terminal, cd into the programs folder, and then from there you'll see that there's an sqlmap project. So just do cd sqlmap. And you can type in M and then do tab, and it'll finish it out for you. No need to type it all. You'll SQL again, or ls again, and you'll see that there's documents, extras, plugins, etc. But the key file we're interested in here is sqlmap.py. It's a Python script, so you can do a /sqlmap and complete that out, and they'll run it. But we want to send some variables to it. So the first thing we're going to do is do a tacu, which is for a URL. And what we're going to do is we're going to come over to Firefox. We're going to fire up tamper data, and we're going to do a start tamper. And what this is going to do is it's going to allow us to see exactly what's being run. So this may have jQuery or some other thing where it's submitting the site in a different way than we would expect from the URL up here. So by doing this, submit, it'll ask us to tamper, and so we can take a look at actually what's going on. See the cookies here, you got a referral. Just simply click OK. Click the second one, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to double click on the referral, then do a right click on the value, click copy, and come back over using Alt Tab. Do a quote. I'll go ahead and maximize it so you can see what's going on. Right click, paste, and we'll do a close quote out. And you notice that the referral's in there, so we don't want that. We just want the URL. So I'll do home, use the right arrow to get over there and then just delete that out. I'll press end again to get the end. And now the second thing that we want to put here is cookie, because notice when we logged in, we're now on an internal part of the site, so we want to be able to make queries on that and not have it request us to log in each time. So we'll just do tac cookie equals, and then we'll add a quote. Come back over to tamper data. Just go ahead and close that window out. Come to tamper data. We'll double click on cookie, and we will first copy the session ID. So copy that and just paste it here. And then we'll put a semicolon to show that we have a little bit more, another variable. And then we'll do copy and come over here and then do paste. So now we have the security equals low, we have the session ID, and we want to make sure that we just put quotes there. So the final thing we need to do is tell it what we actually want to run at this particular time. So we're going to do tac DBS, which stands for database. And now we should be able to hit enter, and it should be able to run some SQL injections to find out what the databases are. So as you can see, it went really fast because I had already done this, but it could take about probably up to 5 minutes. On the slowest system. But now we have the databases. So we've got DVWA, we've got these two, which are just part of SQL. It looks like it's got a performance in here. I was testing something out earlier, so it shows that database. And it also has our cross-site scripting database. So the next thing that we want to do is we want to pick one of these databases, and for this particular example, we're going to pick the database of DVWA because that's the site that we're wanting to attack. So we know the database, so we do tac capital D. And one thing you'll notice too is anytime there's a word listed out, it's going to be 2 tags. Anytime it's a single letter, like the U or the D here, it's going to be a single tag. So tac D, and then it will be DVWA, and then we will do tac tables, and it should go through and find us some tables in that database. So there you go. You can see that there's a guest book and a users database. So now we want to keep drilling down in order to get the database and table information that's going to be useful for us. So continuing on, we can do a tac T, and then we will put in users, and then we will do columns. So what columns are in that actual table? So in the users table, we have a column user. We have an avatar, first name, last name, password, and user ID. So now that we've done that, we'll want to do a C, and we will want to, give me a minute, I'm looking up the exact syntax for us here. Alright, so actually, syntax changes a little bit. So it's tac dump, because we're wanting to dump the actual table out. So we'll do we'll just do users and passwords for now, because something interesting will happen. You'll see in a minute. So user field, password field, go ahead and hit enter, and now it says, hey, there are some hashes that are in the database. Would you like us to do something special with these? So keep these in a temporary file for further use. So we'll go ahead and click Y. And we'll click Y again, and it'll actually try to attempt to use a dictionary attack to break into the passwords and reverse them. So we've got several different options here. It includes a wordless file. That's probably the best one to do unless you have some custom or a file list of dictionaries. So we'll just go ahead and select one. It says, do you want to use common password suffixes? Probably do want to go ahead and do that. And now it's going to actually attempt to break the password. It's identified the hashes of the passwords as being MD5. And basically what this means is we're not storing plain text passwords. Each time the user logs in and they put in their password, we're using a function of the password. So for example, if I type in ABC123, each time we would have that particular hash right here that would be entered and compared on the database. We're not comparing ABC123 to ABC123, we're comparing E99, etc. to E99, etc. So as you can see, we've actually broken out the database here. We've got the avatars of these users. We could probably use some directory traversal or something to get those out. And we've got the hashes here, and we've actually got all the passwords broken out. So that's pretty much how you go about doing it. You can do several different things. As far as drilling down, you can always use dump to get more information out of what's in the tables. Even if it's not a password database, you might be able to download files and things like that. But yeah, so our other videos that we're going to have, we've already done the one for cross-site scripting. The final one I'll be showing is beef. So